Hello, and welcome back to Real Truth Talks. This is A Wounded Warrior's widow uh, giving her opinion and talking um, about her wounded warrior and his experience and my thoughts on upcoming Memorial Day 2023. It's the first Memorial Day without my husband, and it's just some thoughts. This Memorial Day, um, in Mark's honor, our thoughts are on a friend of his that was killed in action. Um, I, I don't know I can't recall his full name. It's just Rick is all I know, and it was something that out of other people that had died, this one was a friend close to Mark, and he, as Mark tells the story or relates the events, and Rick was killed because of a betrayal from a guide, and it was something that haunted Mark a lot. Um, so we remember him and all those who have been killed in action or missing, presumed killed, right? In this widow's opinion, who has, had, my dad, my grandfather, uncles, cousins, father-in-law, etc. Just comes from a military upbringing. Um, I am firmly convinced that we should be honoring our veterans, those that are honorably discharged, whether they're retired or not, the ones that enlisted and swore in under Title 10 and, basically, as people say, signed a blank check that they would defend our country, our Constitution, and the people of our country for up to and including their lives. There's a lot of veterans that did not die in battle, um, but they came home and died as a result. And my husband was one, retired Air Force, some special forces, and uh, he incurred illness from his service, which ultimately took his life at 60 years old. And I just firmly believe that we as a country need to be respecting our veterans and honoring them more than politicians, way more than politicians. For those who know, you know what I'm talking about. Um, More than Hollywood, more than any other group of people in our country, because these men and women were willing to do whatever it took to ensure our safety and our freedom. And you know, way under 2%, it's closer to 1% of all American citizens have ever served in the armed forces. Um, that's pretty elite already. That's the true elite. Those are the people that need to be honored, and we're not as their families. Um, Usually the forgotten ones and whatnot, and not that we sit around and be angry about that. It's just part of the service, you know. When someone signs up and then you marry a service member or retired or whatever, or your children, you are serving as well, but you're serving in the area of support. And, you know, their deaths and illnesses and the issues, because they come home, but their bodies come home, but their minds really are too often affected. Uh, the war doesn't stop just because they come home or because they're wounded. So that's my take. Um, I'm just feel blessed and honored to be able to have this memorial flag in our backyard. Um, this is Fallen but Not Forgotten Military was the group that put this one up for us. Some very close friends um, put us in for that, and I'm so grateful um, to have this here. So blessings, peace for your Memorial Day if you're a Gold Star family, and or widow or widower of a service member, or you know, the child, family member um, of a fallen soldier or a wounded warrior. So our thoughts and prayers and gratefulness from our little family to yours.